Nerd Reactor, roll out.
All
You
right.
you can
Okay.
ask us that question again, John, if you
I know.
want.
I will. Let's rewind back. Let's say, okay. So you've been doing the interviews today, right? And then the I just caught you. You're talking about the things you learn. Something about nostalgia. What is it?
Well, I just when you make something like this, you can never fully uh, guess how people are going to take it. And had I guessed, and I did guess, like I thought that people would be more excited about the AAA games and the current games, and people really are. And I think those episodes are amazing. But it's amazing how excited people are about and they're shorter, but the nostalgia games and the indie games. Nostalgia ones in particular, because I'm guessing again that they just bring such fond memories forth of people entering this world of gaming, this community, and people just have so many good memories about playing these games a long time ago that they're just excited about having
But
them.
but also think it's good memories about playing games like what is Pac? Like, and we struggled with that too. When you sit down and you wonder, like, well, what's Pac-Man? What's going on in that Pac-Man universe anyway? So I think there's a like this sort of big black box of concepts, and you don't really know what's going to come out the other side. And I think that sort of unknown is exciting to people. And like we the conversation we were having was, I think I think it's polarizing in that there are people who are going to expect a bright, cheerful 8-bit experience that they may have experienced when they were playing Pac-Man, or they may have experienced the one that we did. And so we made an episode out of it.
And it could be both, and they're both great. Spelunky's
So is
happy.
so is Bandai Namco like? Were they all in for that?
That to put a fine point on it, that episode is more theirs than ours.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like, but whose idea was it? Like, was it like you guys come up with that? Okay, we're gonna do this, and then they're like, all right, just all right. Well, listen. What if
No,
we
no,
had
no.
Pac?
There is they got on a call, and like they're speaking in Japanese, and then the translator was confirmed what they just said. And then the mission statement was, we would like audiences to wonder what the fuck they did with Pac-Man. And so there were a few more specifics beyond that. But other than that, we distilled down a lot about, what makes Pac-Man Pac-Man. And we bring in authors, and we went through this pitch process of eliciting ideas with all our favorite science fiction and fantasy authors. And ultimately, we couldn't break it all felt too timid and safe. And then eventually JT Petty, our head writer, went away to his woodshed one weekend and came back with the script that is Pac-Man. JT actually writes for a lot of video games too. He was the writer on Outlast Trials, and so he
Of course.
loves like all of that stuff, right? So he came back, and there was a line from our sort of discussion stuck in his head, which was like, "Yeah, but you can eat them, but never their eyes." And I think if there was a line that inspired, like, it was probably that.
Oh yeah, I love
It's
yeah. Outlast
anyway.
Trials to Pac-Man. It's very fitting with just the episode, just how dark it is. So I can see it, you know. And there's so many episodes. But I think like as you mentioned, the Pac-Man one that's gonna have a lot of people talking, and also just trying to add more lore to like certain storylines. Let's go with Sifu. It's short, it's violent, and I feel like it's more violent than the actual game because the game is pretty violent, but his one has just more blood and just throat cutting and all that. So, what was the? I don't know. I guess there was no limit for you guys, right?
Well, that
Uh,
one,
yeah, there was.
oh, there are like some of our partners, like Mega Man guys, were like, could you please not pull any heads off? Although, like, someone at New York Comic Con before we released anything, obviously was like, so the Mega Man episode, like, you guys made Love, Death, and Robots. So is Mega Man gonna like rip heads off people? And I'm like, no, he's not really gonna do that. Like, so they
Oh,
were
wouldn't it
they
be
were
great?
definite.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
great if they?
So
And
it
then
was
yeah,
it was definitely like a range of violence. With Sifu in particular, though, um they were they were fine with it. They like within reason. I should I wish we could release the stunt viz, like my our stunt team, led by Wayne Dalglish, did like that corridor fight I said like we want to do like a 2-minute fight in this glass bottom corridor, and they made it 6 or 7 minutes because stunt guys can't control themselves. And if you want to see violence, like that thing is violent. Like they're amazing. Like if you've seen them, like they throw in all their crude, like they film it all, throw in like rudimentary visual effects, like eyeballs popping out of heads and intestines, like as they like
Oh,
disembowel their but it's so we toned it back from that. We showed it slow clap, and we were like, we're going to remove that part and this part and that. But
We should put that on
yes,
the site. We should put that on the site. Why can't we put that on the site?
yeah. I think we talked about it with Amazon, but yes, I mean we pushed it as far as we can go in the episodes that were like because we knew there was some that we couldn't, so we
oh
wanted
yeah,
to take some chances.
and then one of the funnier episodes, the New World with Arnold, right? Like that one caught me off guard with how just comedic Arnold is in that, and it's just the concept of video games, just dying and coming back to life and learning. So what was the concept behind that?
Take it away,
So,
Dave. No, you.
we had struggled with like to find a great tone because like if you thought New World Eternum, you probably wouldn't go to comedy, and we had been struggling to find like the right episode for a long time. And I'm sitting in the studio with JT, and we can't come up with anything. And then I get this video sent to me from Tim, and it's Arnold, and Arnold's like, Dave, whatever you want me to do, I'm in, like the series. And I'm like, I called Tim, and I'm like, is this for real? He's like, yeah, he wants to do an episode. And I'm like, okay. And so we were like, let's just write it for him. And the idea right there on the spot, it was John Scalzi was there sitting with us. He's one of the LDR authors. Well, he's just an author, but he's one of the authors we worked with on Love, Death, and Robots. And the idea was essentially, what if Conan was all talk? And then we were like, yes, let's write that episode. And that was it. John
And
wrote a pitch.
Arnold is really funny. He likes comedy, and he's really good at it. So he had a good time with it. And then I don't know if you noticed, but the Gabe Luna, the king he fights, the Persian king, is Gabe Luna, who's the other Terminator in the Terminator movie I made, the bad Terminator. So a little Terminator rematch in that episode.
Oh, nice, yeah. And okay, we're talking about nostalgia right before, and I think for me, watching the Mega Man one, and then the music, the theme, like I think
I love that music.
it just hits me, like just like the cinematic version of it. So what was that like? Just trying to make sure, like, all right, we're gonna have a new take or twist on certain games, but then we still have to like add, like, all right, the fans are gonna love this.
I did like that music has been stuck in my head for a long time. And I remember when director came on, and I was like, I don't mind what you do, but you got to use this piece of music at some point in the episode. But that one we worked very closely with Capcom on, and went through multiple iterations on. But I was one of the things, because it's a nostalgia thing that always makes me a bit nervous, is like, we don't have enough runway to like. I love that episode so much, and I'm so pumped by the end of it that I'm like, it can't end. I remember when I saw the story reel, and then we had that music in and everything like that. I was like, I needed like 20 more minutes. I wanted to go. So, I think with all of these, I think what we're trying to do is capture the tone of it. I love the idea of I don't think a lot of people know the whole sort of story of where Mega Man comes from and his relationship with Dr. Light. So I wanted to do that in as succinct a way as possible.
But I do think that was interesting, because normally we would, if it was us trying to satisfy a client or something, we would go, okay, well, they have to fight. That, we need, people always want action, so we're going to have a little bit of action here. Capcom they said, no, we're fine with just an emotional piece here, and kudos to them, because it gave us a lot more time to focus on that. So
Yeah,
I said Bandai
nice
because
note
we've been talking about Pac-Man like all over in the interviews. Capcom.
But yeah, Dave, Tim, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. That's all the time I have. But yeah, can't wait for everyone else to watch it when it comes out.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Nice chatting with you.